Welcome to our 2015-2016 DTC Sports High School Basketball Preview. I'm Tom Duggin, alongside Terry Collins, who you'll see throughout the course of the season, calling game scores here on DTC Sports. And also with us is Darvin Gill, assistant basketball coach at White County High School, former assistant at Cannon County High School. Today we're going to be talking about the District 8AA Boys Division. And before we get to talking about this season, guys, let's go back and take a look at last year, how things played out. What a banner year for the Cannon County Lions. 13-1 as they win the district by 2 games last year. They end up 28-6 overall, and a great run to the sectional round. Livingston right there in the sectionals. Of course, Livingston, a long-time power in District 8AA Boys. It was pretty well a scrum after that. You got Macon County. York had the postseason ban last year, but they bring back a very solid team this year. Something we're not accustomed to seeing is Upperman way down there in 5th place with a 6-8 district record. DeKalb County kind of took a couple of steps back. They've been a power for the last few years. And, of course, Central Magnet still trying to build that young boys program over there. Darvin, let's start talking about Cannon County. Coach Matt Rigsby, what an outstanding season he had. But, boy, the losses for him, including the district MVP. He's got a lot of kids that won't be coming back this year. Pretty good nucleus that will be coming back. Can they maintain that level of success at Cannon County High School from a banner year 1 year ago?
Well, you know, Coach Rigsby, obviously I know him personally, and nobody works harder than Coach Rigsby. But the losses he sustained through graduation, one player moved, changed schools, moved. And then he's facing some injuries that is going to affect him, at least in the short term, some of it in the long term. We saw one of those injuries in the football season with Austin Brock, which was penciled in to be a starting point guard. Bo Bryson, who was also penciled in as a starter, he is going to be down for a length of time to start the season. They're hoping to have him back. So can they sustain it? They're going to work hard at doing it. It is going to be an uphill battle, though, in this district because, as you know, in this district, the people that return the most have the most. And in this case, there's a few teams, namely Macon County is one of them that returns everyone, basically, and some other schools, as we go down the list, that return a lot of weapons. So I think with the weapons that Cannon County lost, they would be hard-pressed to expect to be 13-1 again.
As we go to Carthage, Terry, one team I look at this year that I'm keeping my eye on is the Smith County Owls. John Sanders has brought a lot of energy to that team, losing, I believe, only 3 seniors from a year ago. And talk about that team. He's got some great young weapons coming back, and I like this Smith County team. I think folks need to keep an eye on them this year.
If they can get solid point guard play, and I think that's big for them, then I think they can challenge for the top of the district. I'm not saying they'll win the district, but when you look at Shamar King and Jalen Shepardson and you got Johnny Hayden in there, of course you've got probably their best player in Cameron Huff. Cameron is a player that can shoot the ball extremely well. We saw that in the White County game. Smith County played well against them on Tuesday night. Of course, I know Darvin was there to see that. But Cameron Huff hit 6 out of 7 shots in the first half, and he was like 4 for 5 from threes, and a lot of those didn't even hit the rim. I mean, he was, when I say in a zone on those 18 points, he was in a zone. He's got 999 career points currently, and when you look at Cameron Huff, he's a player that has put in a tremendous amount of time in the gym. He has spent hour after hour shooting the basketball, and he's really, I think, ready for a breakout year. He's a player that can get Smith County 18 to 20 points a game. You look at Shepardson inside, he's only 6'1", but he jumps well, and his timing is impeccable. He plays against players a lot larger than him, and it does a good job. I know in their first game against Aaron Academy on Tuesday night, kid's got 20 points, and he's got 15, 16 rebounds. That's a pretty big night for a 6'1" post. And, when you look at Aaron Academy, they had a 6'7" and a 6'6" kid. So it's not like he was going against a lot of short, players. Shamar King, a very, very athletic player, a player that can drive it to the hoop, and a player that every time he touches the ball, it's nearly like the crowd goes, kind of holds their breath. He is that type of player. He can also shoot the three well. And Smith County, they kind of had White County on the ropes the other night. They're up 8 with 15 seconds to go in the third, and then a 3-point barrage from the Warriors. They hit 8 threes over the last 8 minutes and 15 seconds of the ball game to go on a 34-8 run to beat Smith County and Carthage. So I think there's good things for Coach Sanders, they do not have a lot of depth. That's the one thing that kind of concerns me, especially, hopefully none of these kids will get hurt, but if they do, they don't have a lot of depth. They've got some younger kids I think can play down the road, but they need to get a little experience under their belt.
Keep an eye on those Smith County Owls this year. They're certainly going to be exciting, and, of course, that's just an extension, again, of their head coach. I think Coach John Sanders has done a fantastic job in his short time over there. As we go from Smith County to Smithville to talk about DeKalb County, Coach Linus Martin loses 7 seniors from his team a year ago. Darvin, he loses the brunt of his scoring, rebounding, assists. It's going to be a young DeKalb County team, and, again, they struggled somewhat in the district last year, though they were still able to put up 19 wins overall on the season. Coach Martin's done a fantastic job. Now been over DeKalb County quite a while, but he's got his work cut out for him this year. It's going to be a tough district, it looks like, in 8AA.
It is going to be a tough district. But the good thing, if you're a DeKalb County fan, is that the person at the helm. Now, Coach Martin has been in plenty of battles and wars, so to speak, figuratively, and he knows what it takes to be successful in this district, and he's actually got a good staff assembled. I think they're going to work hard at doing it. You lose all those seniors, and you wish you'd had a little more success in the district, and now you're retooling. But sometimes that's good. Sometimes you retool, and even though you have some unknowns coming in with younger players, sometimes that is a good thing, letting those unknowns be unknown for a while in the district, and maybe you sneak up on somebody early. The good thing, though, again, Coach Martin, you're not going to get around him from a basketball standpoint. You're not going to out X and O him, generally speaking. He knows what the game is about, and he knows what he's doing there. So as long as he can get some young players to grow up, I think they can make a little noise there in the district. But it is going to be a top-heavy district, in my opinion.
Indeed it is. And, Terry, that's what I want to get to next. When you start looking around the district, I can't say that I can call a favorite right now. I may put you on the spot for that. But Upperman, they get a transfer in from Clay County, and they've got a good nucleus coming back. Livingston loses 5 key players from their team a year ago, including Wade Eldridge. So what do they have coming back? Can they factor in? Macon County looks good. York Institute brings a lot back this year. Those are 4 very solid-looking teams right there at the top of the district.
Well, I think Macon County, with all their experience coming back, and Coach Welch does a great job with them. I think they're, he does a lot of scouting, and he really goes and wants to get tendencies for other teams. I mean, you can tell he loves it. And I really think that as close as the top of the district's going to be, I mean, you're looking at a whisker between maybe 1st and 5th, kind of like the girls was a year ago. I think Macon County is a team that, I don't know why, but I think that they may be at the top. Of course, you've got York with Colton Blevins, a Tennessee Tech signee that, he can score on anybody. He's got 21 points and probably 12 rebounds a game last year. He's 6'8", can shoot outside, he can post you up, rebounds well, and block shots. He's a force that you're going to have to put up with every night. When you look at Livingston, they lost a lot of players from a year ago, had 5 seniors and all 5 started. But still, Livingston is Livingston, and they're going to be at the top at the end. You don't see Livingston go through a bad year where they're 6th, 7th in a district. They don't do it. I mean, they just kind of reload every year. And I think when you look at them, I think that with Upperman, I think a piece of the puzzle was kind of fixed when Bobby McWilliams got the 6'8" kid from Clay County. Not that they were going to be terrible in the post, but I think that's a big boost in the arm. And when you look at Ben Guffey and some of the players they've got coming back, I really think that Upperman and Bobby McWilliams proves it year in and year out. He's another one of those teams. He's going to be 1st or 2nd, no worse than 3rd in the district. I think there's kind of going to be a burr under their saddle from a year ago. Smith County upset them in the 1st round of the district tournament. When's the last time you saw Upperman put out in the 1st round of the district tournament? It never happens. So I think that's give them a motivational edge for them to come back and really play hard this year.
In quite some time, as you point out, Terry, since Upperman was eliminated in the 1st round of the postseason. Darvin, as we look from a coaching perspective, we talked about all the great coaches on the girls' side of 8AA, but, Terry mentions Coach Bobby McWilliams, Jimmy Miller at Livingston, Linus Martin, what he's done at DeKalb County, John Sanders, the energy he's bringing over to Smith County, Jason Welch and the great job he's done for a long time at Macon County. These coaches get so much out of their programs. When you assess 8AA, especially top to bottom this year, what do you see and what kind of energy these coaches going to bring to their programs?
A lot. And to make your point, to drive your point home, Coach Worsley at Central Magnet, You want people, he may be the secret of the district. Coach Worsley does a fantastic job. And at Central Magnet, I think they're going to show marked improvement. And I judge any district or any league, no matter what level, when you talk about the coaching pedigrees, what's at the bottom as far as standing is concerned and who's at that helm. And I think that is a team in Central Magnet that I think is going to show marked improvement, and that speaks volumes for what this district is about. He talked to, Terry talked about Coach Welch. I see him a lot in gyms. I'm in a lot of gyms, and he's in a lot of gyms. We could pass by each other quite a bit, especially when I was in 8AA. But those coaches there, the Millers, the McWilliams, the Martins, I mean, not much gets past those coaches, and so the slightest edge that they can gain, they will try to gain and will gain. And I think this is an underrated coaching district. And, really, I'll make a bold prediction. I won't pick a winner because I think it's too close to call, but I will say this, the district winner will have at least 3 losses this year, at least 3, if not 4.
And what that tells you, folks, is it's going to be a very competitive district this year in top to bottom, and I think Terry may have said it best, 1 through 5, it could just be just a fraction of a district, a difference between those teams. Should be a lot of fun to watch, and of course, you can watch District 8AA boys action this season right here on DTC Sports. Terry and myself will have games throughout the course of the season, and you can go to www.dtc3.tv to get a complete list of games coming up to be filmed right here on DTC Sports. For Darvin Gill and Terry Collins, I'm Tom Duggin for DTC Sports.